Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, April 8th, 2022, the day after Cyber Rodeo. And I literally just woke up maybe 15 minutes ago. I went to my wife. I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to get this content out there. Because we're going on a trip actually tomorrow morning, and we have TeslaCon today for those in Austin, where I'll be a speaker along with Sandy Monroe and Jordan Gisagi from the Limiting Factor. And there's going to be a bunch of other Tesla folks at the event as well. But I really wanted to sit down and share with you all my thoughts from Cyber Rodeo, because it was when I first experienced it yesterday, it was so awesome. And seeing everybody there, that recognized me from my YouTube channel was so fun, and I'm so thankful. Everybody who I ran into, thank you so much. You guys every single one of you are such kind people, and really appreciate the support. I really feel the love. I really do. And I ran into all the YouTubers, which I'll talk about at length as well. I really got to know them a little bit, which was also a great experience in person. But it was hard for me to understand why I felt such a profound feeling. Why walking through Gigafactory and seeing all the different machinery and seeing all the different things that Tesla had put together for us, why I felt the way that I felt. And after sleeping on it last night, which I got about 7 hours, and I'm actually very happy with the sleep that I got, because I figured, it's going to be tough to sleep after going through that event. And luckily I came home, I decompressed, my wife and I chatted about the event, and then, fell asleep soon after. So thankfully I got a good night's sleep. But really what it turned out to be is that the profound nature of that event and the profound nature of Tesla, and how important its technology is, and how important the things that it's working on, I think are really dwarfed by what Tesla is doing from a culture perspective. And let me try to explain this a little bit better. So we have a company like Tesla that's been around for really in earnest, let's call it, since the Model S came out, right? And the Roadster came out 2009, 2010. I don't even remember when, but it was before 2012, which is when the Model S came out, or right around that time. Tesla was relatively unknown, well known within the tech world, I'm sure, but relatively unknown. The investor base was pretty small compared to what it is now, especially the retail investor. Even though the retail investor back in 2012 was really the driving force behind sort of all the positive things and the long-term impacts of Tesla. And now you fast forward 10 years later, and Tesla has gone through this incredible change of going from like a small-time EV manufacturer that was trying to revolutionize how cars are made, to this company now that's like so incredibly gigantic in scope. Elon has said before that, Tesla is a company that has multiple companies within it, right? They have an AI division with the full self-driving stuff and the bot. They have a vehicle division with the cars. They have a trucking division with the semi. They got a solar battery, like a storage division within that. They have a solar array and solar panel division within them. You got auto bidder with that stuff, right? There's all these different things that Tesla is doing, and its scope has grown so large, but its reach has also grown incredibly large. Way more people are involved in Tesla than they were 10 years ago. And I saw this firsthand, really, I think for the first time at Cyber Rodeo yesterday. It really freaking hit me. And the first time I noticed this, to be completely honest, is the second I pulled into the parking lot. And the reason why I say that is because I've never seen a more truly diverse parking lot in my entire life. You had a gigantic mixture, forget like, here's a pickup truck and here's a Tesla and there's a bunch of sedans. No, there were so many gigantic pickup trucks. There were so many normal sized pickup trucks. There were so many sedans, so many SUVs. And then so many freaking Teslas and other kinds of EVs. I literally was looking around while I was waiting for some folks, and I noticed every single type of car as far as the eye could see. So immediately seeing that before I walked in, I'm like, okay, I'm familiar with Tesla from back from 2012. This what appeared to be very niche tech centric. I only appeal to people who are environmentalists, and I only appeal to, people who like electric cars and high tech stuff. And now it's a completely different ball game, and I really think this is, to me, the Tesla's next 10 years are going to be incredibly hard to predict, because the ceiling is, to me, feels like it doesn't exist. And it's because of this phenomenon. I walk into the Cyber Rodeo, I already saw the parking lot. I walk into the Cyber Rodeo already like, okay, this already feels different. I've never seen so many freaking Tesla Model Ys and Model S's next to these gigantic pickup trucks and the owners talking to each other. When is the last time that's happened? The owners of those cars talking to each other, being excited about being here. That uniting force. There's a uniting force going on. You walk into the Cyber Rodeo. You're greeted to like the colors of purple, green, yellow, the cyber sort of punk sort of feel, and very industrial, but also like there's super dope music pumping in the background, really bass heavy, and you just feel like you want to dance. And then you got these like girls on skates with cowboy hats on, just literally just whizzing around and dancing, trying to like really create a vibe for the event, which was really, really cool to see. And then there's obviously a bar there and you can go grab a drink. So that's what I did. Obviously, why wouldn't you do that? But that's what I did. And I started walking the floor just to see all the different stuff. And of course, there's going to be so many people out there that are going to create incredible content, much better than I will, to be completely honest, around, the equipment that you saw, the batteries, technology that we saw, the mega castings, the structural battery pack, all these different innovations that they have from a manufacturing perspective, the sheer ridiculous size of the damn building, which is to this, like, we talked about this with different folks. I talked about this with Sandy Monroe and a few other folks as well, that the sheer scale of this damn building is so hard to comprehend, even when you're inside of it. Humans truly are not designed to truly understand large spaces. And this freaking thing is it's so large, but that's honestly besides the point. For me, that is okay. I work at Tesla before. I understand scale somewhat. And to me, it's just like I'm getting my steps in for the day, I'm going to get from point A to point B. I need to get something done. There aren't any things I can ride that gets me there faster. I'm going to have to walk. It is what it is. Thank goodness I have my comfortable shoes on, right? And that was one of my first things for this event. I was like, okay, I got to make sure I got my good shoes on, because I know I'm going to be walking a lot. And thankfully I was prepared. So I start walking the floor. I start going down the Cyber Rodeo, and you have the mega press, this gigantic, the largest, I think, mechanical structure I've ever seen, to be completely honest. You see again, like the single piece castings and all these different technologies, the manufacturing line and how to create the cars and everything like that, and it goes quite a ways. I mean, literally, you could walk probably, I don't know if they blocked anything. I mean, I'm sure they blocked some pieces off that are private, but you basically walked every single part of the process of building a car, every single part of building a process, which was fascinating to see again, but with other people, right? It was one of those things that every time you see manufacturing being done in person is so exciting. But this is the second level of that culture thing it started really hitting me. I look around, and the type, the type of people, the kind of people that are there, incredibly diverse. You have people from every single race, every single background, all together under this roof with beer in hand. Okay? Most, if not all, people were holding some sort of drink. Water for those that don't partake, perhaps not as early as we were there. But the diversity of the people was so awesome to see. And all of us have some sort of beer in hand, walking through this facility with manufacturing, with technology, with innovation, the best in the world. Okay, as a Tesla investor and a Tesla fan, I would say the best in the world. A diverse people all celebrating this moment and being in awe of what we're seeing together as one people. That to me, my biggest takeaway, to be completely honest, was how uniting of a force Tesla is through its inspiring mission. Especially in a world right now where it feels like there's so much division, but we can save that for another time, to be completely honest. But that force, that uniting force under an immigrant leader, Elon Musk, if you didn't know, for whatever reason, he wasn't born in the States, he was born in South Africa. Okay. This was by far the most American thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And I was born in Spain. We moved to the States when I was 12 in 1999. Okay. So I'm not naturally born in the States. We moved here. You can probably tell by the accent. We moved here, and there were a lot of things that were being told about, America, how America is a great melting pot and blah, blah, blah. And you would see this from time to time. America knows how to throw big parties. America knows how to create really cool stuff. America has freedom of expression. Okay. But I would rarely see these things under one roof. I would rarely see these things under one place, one area, one place. It was, you would experience freedom of choice in one area, then you would experience great technology in another area. It was never combined. This event combined all the great things that make America what it is, in my opinion. All the amazing, the strengths of America, Tesla was able to harness under one roof. That to me, if that isn't one of the best, if not the best storylines right now in the world, or at least in the United States, forget the world, it's way too complex. Let's say the United States. If it's not one of the best storylines in the United States, I don't know what is. I really don't know what is. It's so freaking inspiring. And the fact that I'm somebody that has worked at the company and somebody that has followed the company for as long as I have, since 2012. The amount of pride I have for that company, for the people that work there, for the leadership, for the investors, for the fan base, for the community, for the YouTubers, for the people that are fan of the YouTubers, for my people, the folks that are listening to this and have joined my channel and all that stuff. This is one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life. And of course, this could be, 12 hours, roughly, a little bit more since I saw the event, but man, it truly was profound. It really did blow my mind. And I tried talking about this with some folks, at the event, but I wasn't formulating my thoughts correctly. Because to me, it really feels, this is not a technology thing. This is not a thing that Tesla's doing we're working on the model, the model, the Cybertruck and the Semi, and we're also working on full self-driving, and we're working on the bot. Oh, and by the way, we're also working on actually really delivering on the promise of the American dream, of the America's mission, why America exists. We are going to uphold all the values of America. And here's our version 1. Cybertruck's existence, or Cyber Rodeos, the party, and the factory, Giga Texas, to me are a celebration of that, of what it's possible when you combine the brightest minds from everywhere, from every background, that have every single story imaginable, and we combine them to make things that make humanity better, that make humanity excited. The celebration of this at this facility, I'm telling you guys, and maybe there's some hyperbole here because I don't know, because I'm a big fan of it. But if there's others at the facility that experienced this, drop a comment or shoot me a DM or something just to confirm my feelings here, because to me, this was by far the largest takeaway. All the other stuff, in my opinion, we have a rough idea of what's going on already. And there are some technical things that have happened that folks like Sandy Monroe and Jordan Gissigi and other super knowledgeable folks have understood walking through those halls, and that's going to have some sort of implication to the product of Tesla as we move forward. But this cultural phenomenon, the size of Tesla from a cultural perspective, man, there was another thing I saw this morning, which I think was released yesterday. Elon gave a talk at the United States, I think Air Force, I believe. Somewhere. It looked like he was giving a speech to a bunch of folks in our military. Thank you guys for your service, by the way, if you're listening to this. But the military folks. And when they announced Elon Musk, the crowd erupted. Like, they cheered him harder than anyone I've ever heard cheered before. Something is happening. Something is happening, man. I really do think that the population at large is starting to realize just how important the stuff that Elon and the folks that work with him and all the missions that he's trying to drive and the people that are driving it with him, just how important these things are, but also how inspiring they are for all of us. This is not just to make cool stuff. This is not just to trying to appease someone's dream or trying to drive someone's ego. This is human. It's important. It feels good. It feels inspiring. It's wild, man. And it also could be that I had a couple beers while I was there, but I saw different things. But I doubt it. I highly doubt it, man. I was in awe. I really was in awe. For I think reasons that were directly correlated to what Tesla put together itself, but also by how much unity and how beautiful the event was from the aspect of the human condition. It blew my mind. It really did blow my mind. Such a different tone from what you would read on social media and what you would read on different stuff and all the people that sort of hate on Tesla and Elon, all those people, man. Like, wow. And that was even more, it felt even bigger to me because then I would have folks approach me. They're like, oh my God, are you Farzad? I'm like, yes, I am. What's your name? They would introduce themselves. They're like, great work on your channel. Love the stuff you do. You have a great voice, for the stuff that you're doing. And, so humbling. It felt so great. One of the jokes I was telling, probably telling this joke too much because I came up with it the night before at the pub crawl on Wednesday night when I was met with a bunch of other folks that follow the channel as well. I was like, when I look at this channel, when I look at the numbers come through, I don't even know if these are humans. These could all be Russian bots, driving up the views and leaving comments on my videos. Even though they're like 99.9% very positive, it's hard to feel a human connection with words and numbers. And then when you go out in public and you go to an event where people, expect you to be there and they introduce themselves and they like talk about, what they enjoy about the work that you do, man, that feels a specific kind of way, man. It feels great. It feels great. I will, I'd be lying if I was at first a little overwhelmed because I've never experienced anything like that before. Guys, and I don't want to paint a picture as if I'm freaking, Brad Pitt or Elon Musk walking into a crowd and getting mobbed by the entire crowd. This was not the case. I walked into the bar or I walked into the place and people would approach me like, hey, you're the person, okay? I don't want to paint a picture of like some sort of like celebrity here. This is just being able to essentially spend the entire time at the pub crawl talking to those folks and sometime at the Gigafactory, people walking up and introducing themselves was a treat for me. It really was. And putting the face to the username or putting the face to the viewer was truly a beautiful experience for me. And I'm so thankful again for everybody who approached me and introduced themselves and, made themselves shown as a fan of the work that I do. Thank you so much. That honestly meant so much to me. I remember driving home Wednesday night with my wife and her and I were talking and she was like, oh, you're famous now. I'm like, come on. Of course she's going to be picking at me. But I was telling her just the appreciation and the love that I feel from this community is incredible. The Tesla community at large, I think this is really truly a special group of people. I think that the mission of the company and what it stands for, it really has created this conglomeration, this group of people that have a very shared experience through Tesla, and it's attracting, honestly, just the best, kindest people I've ever met. And it just so happens, I think, that most of, a gigantic majority of the human population, I really feel this way, are kind, really nice people. And as Tesla gets bigger, and as Tesla becomes more and more known for what it's trying to do, and more people are inspired by what it's trying to do, and the nature of the problems it's trying to solve, and the technology that it's working on, this community is going to be, man, it's going to be incredible. It really is going to be incredible. The reach, we have seen nothing yet, y'all. We have seen nothing yet. We have seen nothing yet. That is the biggest. Well, no, that's a big takeaway for me. We have seen nothing yet. Even though, as far as Tesla has come for the last 10 years, this feels like the beginning. And Elon's comments around massive scale at the event, and his previous tweets about Master Plan Part 3 and about how that's going to be focused on massive scale. I think one of the reasons is, one of the things is Tesla needs to get much bigger. Obviously, massive scale, way more cars, way more batteries, way more everything. But massive scale from a cultural perspective, from people following the company and being inspired by its mission and its leadership and its employees and its products and everything it stands for. That is also going to go through some massive scale, through some massive changes. And it cannot be underestimated. People that think that Tesla has reached its peak, that Tesla has reached its maximum potential from a stock perspective, from a company's perspective, from a technology perspective, they need to go see that freaking factory. They need to go see that factory. They really do. It's inspiring. That's the best way I could put it. It's inspiring. It really is. And I'm sure people will get the chance to do that at some point. I really do feel bad for those that weren't able to make it to the event. I was incredibly lucky to be hooked up with somebody that was able to provide a +1 to me to go to the event, and I'm incredibly thankful to that person. I'm not going to name him, but if you're listening, you know exactly who you are. Thank you so much again. Seriously, you have no idea how thankful I am. I really do appreciate it. Because what I saw was insane. Completely insane. And I went in with no expectations. I'm like, you know what? I worked at Tesla. I know what I'm going to see. I know what I'm going to see. I'm going to have an idea. But then there was that magic in the air. And you walk in and again, you see the things that I saw. And then you're reminded of how freaking cool the technology is. And you see the things that they're working on. And you talk to the people about it. And then you run into all the different YouTubers, right? You run into your Rob Mowers and your Dave Lees. James Dama was there. I didn't get a chance to say hi or nothing, but I saw him. He didn't seem like he wanted to take pictures with anybody. I didn't even ask for one, but he's great guy. I'm sure. I never met him in person, but he does carry himself very nicely. Galileo, bunch of other folks. Warren Retlick, him and I were chatting for a little bit. Jordan Gissigi from The Limiting Factor. Fair number of other folks as well. I'm blanking on them right now. I ran into some old coworkers. I ran into a couple of coworkers from Tesla who are still there. They came up and they say hi. And I'm like, one of them, Andrew Yang, if you're listening to this, not the presidential candidate, but an actual Andrew Yang. I'm sorry I didn't get to talk to you more. He's like, Farzad, and I gave him a hug. I'm like, dude, what the hell? And my first thing was like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, what the hell? Aren't you supposed to be doing something with logistics, bro? Oh, man. But it was awesome. We shared a hug, a couple words. And then Andrew, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of a conversation. I wanted to definitely get back to you, but I'm sure we'll catch up at some point, man. Thank you for saying hi. But I was talking to the Monroe folks. Sandy Monroe, I was able to talk to Sandy for a little while. Corey as well from from Monroe and Associates. I think Sandy was getting way more attention than poor Corey, and I think Corey probably enjoyed it. But super kind guy. Very, very nice guy. It was great talking to him as well. Just I talked to so many different people that follow the same passion, that follow the same, that have the same sort of, fire and understanding of what the company's potential is and the passion for it. What a great experience that was. It really was great. I got to meet these folks a little bit more in person. And the one thing that really stuck out to me too while I was there is like everybody looks exactly the same as they do on screen, which I didn't expect. The one thing you don't gauge is like, you can't gauge is like, how tall somebody is and, the kind of clothes they would wear in person. So that's always very interesting for me to see as somebody who's like interested in people, Rob Mauer is like 6'2", 6'3". That was at first I'm like, holy shit, you're tall. I'm 5'11". I was like, wow, okay. But then I'm like, okay, no, you're Rob Mauer. I get it. Yeah, and all those other guys too was fascinating to meet. So that was really, really cool. And today I'll get to share the stage with some of those folks. I'll be doing a panel at TeslaCon on Friday, which is today. After I finish this up and I go for my run and take a shower and head over to the venue, I'll be sharing a stage with those guys, and I'll also be obviously hanging out with the other folks that I will be giving a panel, some sort of talk at the event. So that's super exciting as well. But yeah, what a day. What a day. Just completely nuts. I couldn't be more thankful for being part of the mission, for being part of the community. We have something special. We really do have something special. And I know all of us probably get told by our family members or our friends sometimes, they're like, dude, can you talk about something else? Can you please talk about something else? Like, is there something else that you can bring up to the discussion except for Tesla or Elon or SpaceX? I've really tried. I've stopped bringing up those things until other people do. And here's what I've noticed as well, talking about this Gigafactory thing and the massive scale of Tesla. I've noticed that Elon Musk and Tesla and SpaceX and all those things get brought up in conversation way more by the person I'm talking to than by me. 5 years ago, say, I would have to bring up that topic of conversation. I would have to talk about Tesla because it wasn't well known. It wasn't well talked about. And then now, I don't even have to bring him up. If I'm talking to like a random person on the street or at the bar, Elon will come up in conversation. I was telling a story on my live stream yesterday, or before that, I forget where I said this. I was at the barbershop, and one of the barbers brought up the conversation automatically, talking about Elon and how Cyber Rodeo is going on, how he's, she's a super fan of him and all the other stuff. If I'm going out to dinner with my wife and we're just kind of mingling with people, Elon Musk and Tesla come up all the time. It's a shift. Something is happening, y'all. Something's happening. Something very fundamental is happening. And the next year or two, I think that massive scale conversation that Elon has started now with Tesla, it's going to be completely bananas. It has the chance of completely rewriting what it means to be large. And Elon has talked about this in his speech too, but it really does. It really does. And I think it's very good for America. If you're an American, if you're somebody who's an American, who's a proud American, who's listening to this, I think Tesla's going to make you very proud. I think Tesla's going to make you incredibly proud. I think that the folks that we traditionally would think are, and this is obviously playing to stereotypes, but we would think are traditionally not pro-EV or pro-Tesla or pro-Tesla's mission or pro-electrification or, making electric cars or whatever. I think we're going to be very surprised when we see those that appear to be the most against that stuff, quote unquote. I think they're going to be the unsung heroes of why Tesla reaches the size that it does, because they're going to so passionately support this company because of what it stands for and what its leadership stands for and what the people stand for, what the products stand for. I think people are going to be very surprised. And I think that's Cybertruck's secret weapon, to be completely honest, next year. I think the patriotism of the company, the patriotism of Elon Musk, and the fact that everything's built in America, I think that Cybertruck's going to do way better. That Cybertruck is going to be transformational. It really is. Elon referred to it as a magnus opus at the speech yesterday. I think it will be because of the support it's going to get for those that truly understand how important Tesla is to America's success and how important Tesla is from the angle of just making great things for humanity and just doing really cool shit. You know? It's inspiring, man. It's inspiring. Anyway, I don't want to hold you guys up for too long. I don't even know how long I've been recording for. Thank you guys so much for stopping by for the audio review. I will not be recording anything else until I'm back from my short trip this weekend. We're going to go visit some friends after TeslaCon here tonight. I'm going to pack up and head on over. So the next video will come out next week on Tuesday. I have a host of folks I'll be talking to next week, including Lars from Best in Tesla and a couple other folks as well. So I'm excited to bring you that content. And then I've jotted down so many different things through my, through all the stuff that I went through and I saw. And a lot of these are going to be video concepts. So one of them that I'm very excited to bring for you guys is I really want to give you guys a really big insight into what Tesla service actually does. Nuts and bolts, so that everybody can get an equal understanding of how important and how great the work that Tesla does from a service perspective is. Because that was one thing I was reminded of when I was there. It's like there's so many people that were talking about their great service experience. And we're often hearing the negatives of service. And I worked at service. And it holds a very near and dear place to my heart. You know, weird thing for somebody to say, car service holds a very near and dear place to my heart. What a nerd, you know, but it does. Because I saw it, and it's a customer-facing thing. Anyway, before I get on my freaking pulpit, I'm very excited to bring that content for you. It's probably going to take me a few weeks to put together. I think it's going to be one of my videos that's probably going to require the most amount of editing and work, but I'm very excited to put it together for y'all. So that will come at some point, and the week after that, the week after next, is earnings week, which I'm very excited for. I'll have Tom Nash on the show on 421. To talk about that and other things as well. And yeah, very excited. I'm so fired up to make more content for you guys after that whole experience. I'm so freaking fired up. And I can't wait to do that. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed this, please throw me a like, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Let them know that, you know, here's another guy that talks about Tesla and he seems to have a good angle. I would really appreciate that. That would be great. If you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon as well. I also have you can join me on YouTube if you go to YouTube and click on join as well. And then on this, if you listen to this on YouTube, I have a link in my description for Athletic Greens, a special deal with them. It's a supplement that I've been using for months now, and it's really changed. It honestly has changed a lot about my digestion. Let's just say I'm much more regular now. Ew, why are you talking about that? I don't think enough people talk about that, to be completely honest, but I'll save that for a different video. But anyway, great supplement, great health benefits, tastes great. Check it out. I have a link in my description and YouTube. And you get a special deal if you purchase Athletic Greens using that link. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. What an experience. What an experience. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Bye-bye.